Today we're going to talk about the first miracle that Jesus did. It was turning the water into wine, and it's only mentioned in John's Gospel. Let's look at the scriptures, chapter 2, starting at verse 1. On the third day, a wedding took place at Cana in Galilee. Jesus' mother was there, and Jesus and his disciples had also been invited to the wedding. When the wine was gone, Jesus' mother said to him, "They have no more wine." "Dear woman, why do you involve me?" Jesus replied. "My time has not yet come." His mother said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." Nearby stood 6 stone water jars, the kind used by the Jews for ceremonial washing, each holding from 10 to 30 gallons, or 75 to 115 litres. I'm going to leave it there and you can read the rest of that lovely little story for yourselves. It's a time when Jesus spent with his mother and disciples just enjoying the day until the wine ran out. I really admire Mary. She had a hard call on her life. She was asked to be the mother of Jesus, to be pregnant before she was married. It could have resulted in her being ostracised and scorned, been divorced by her fiancé, and even been stoned to death. Joseph rose up and protected her, but it was a tough calling. I admired Mary for the stand she took. She said to the angel, "Be to me as you say. Let it be. Whatever God says is good for me." She went on to have other children. She had 4 boys and several girls. But we're not to put Mary on a pedestal and worship her. 1 Timothy 2:5 says, "There is only one mediator between God and men, the man Jesus." Mary points us to Jesus. We should do what she said. She pointed to Jesus and said to the servants, "Do whatever he tells you." It's Jesus she points to. He is the one we worship. You notice there's a lot of wine in this story. I couldn't believe that these jars held almost 1,000 litres. What are we to do about wine? What's the Bible say about drinking wine? First of all, it says, don't drink to excess. Ephesians 5:18 says, don't get drunk on wine, but be filled with the Holy Spirit. Also, 1 Corinthians 6:12 says, all things are permissible for us, but not everything is beneficial. Don't be mastered by anything. Don't let what you eat or drink have control over your body. And lastly, it says in Romans 14, take care of the weaker brother. Don't do something that makes your friend stumble. If drinking wine is a problem for your friend, don't drink it in his presence. Now, when Mary spoke to Jesus about the wine, he said to her, "My time has not yet come." What did he mean by that? He meant that he was only doing what God told him to do. He didn't work his own agenda, he worked God's agenda. And the miracles he was asked to do were signs pointing to the truth of his teaching. Why then did he go ahead and do this miracle anyway? I believe it was because of his compassionate heart. He cared about the details of people's lives. He didn't want the host for that wedding party to be embarrassed. He didn't want the young couple to have their joy spoilt on their special day. And he wanted to please his mum. That's what Jesus is like. He cares about the details of your life. One of the ladies in our Bible study said once that she'd been watching a movie where a man had to be God for one day. He was just overwhelmed with the continual number of prayer requests coming in over and over and over again, and he just couldn't handle it. But God's not like that. He can listen to each person all at the one time in great detail, and he cares about the intimate details of your life. We're told by Peter, cast your cares upon him because he cares for you. And we can do that. We can pray about simple things like finding a parking spot when we need it, or getting the washing dry when the rain clouds are coming. He loves every part of us, and he wants to know and be involved in every part of our lives. Next time, we're going to look at the temple desecrated from John 2:12 to 25. And I want you to think of three things. Why did God choose the Jews? Why is the temple such an important part of their worship? And is it always wrong to be angry and get violent? See you next time.